All right, guys. What about Ameobi here? I felt like after the last video got as much attention as it did, and thank you to everybody that watched it, subscribed, liked, commented, did all the things the algorithm loves so much. But I felt like after it got the attention it did, I really needed to have a follow-up video at some point. And I got to be honest, I've been kind of struggling to figure out how and when to do that. So I'm just gonna yap now and see what comes out. But for anybody who didn't see the previous video, basically I was complaining about 2K's decisions at the beginning of the game cycle and how they were making it kind of pay to win. So when the game was in early access for the week of February 21st to 28th, people who had the game then, who had paid more money to get that version of the game, were getting virtual coin like crazy. And this game, in order to level up your player, you need virtual coin to do it. You gain attribute points down here, but in order to be able to spend them, or in order to be able to use them, you need virtual coin to be able to spend them. It's like 175 per attribute point. And basically what they did was, on the eve of the launch of the main version of the game, like the main launch, they cut the amount of VC you could earn by, like, I think you were getting a quarter or a fifth as much. And then everything that you needed VC for cost more VC to get it. So it was just a really horrible look. It made it look like they were forcing you, quote unquote, to purchase VC. And it made it just look very, very greedy. The optics of it were horrible. And so I made a video basically talking about that and how I'm not going to stream this game and I'm not going to make content about this game until they fix that, and on and on and on, right? So that's what the last video was. What I want to look at today is kind of what has the experience been like. Maybe kind of spitball some ideas about why they did what they did, and then what are we going to do going forward? And the answer, I'll give you the Coles notes right now. I don't know what I'm going to do going forward. I still haven't decided. So, basically, I've got 33 hours, I think, in the game, according to Steam. In what, 26 days? I got it on February 28th. Today is the 26th of March. So yeah, 26 days, 33 hours. So we're a little bit over an hour a day. I've had a couple of days where I've played for like maybe 2 hours total. I don't think I've definitely haven't had a full 2 hour stretch. I've maybe been like, I've played for an hour and then come back later and maybe played 45 minutes, that kind of thing. I've had a couple days where I haven't played it at all. I've had more than a couple days where I haven't played it at all. But you know, I haven't, I've played somewhat, but I wouldn't say I've been grinding. I wouldn't say I've been super excited to play the game. I've been playing it sometimes out of boredom, where I just haven't had anything else to do, and I was just like, all right, well, we'll play. And some of it has been, yeah, okay, well, I better get the daily quests done, I guess. Things like that. The main way I've been playing the game has been very boring. It has been about getting VC, and so I've been playing career mode using Perfect Swing to make sure I win the tournaments, to make sure I get as many milestone quests completed, etc., etc., etc. So I'm at a point now where it's a struggle to play that anymore, because it's just really boring. And as you can see on the screen, my player is up to a 95 now. So 30-ish hours, 32 hours of gameplay maybe. I mean, I'm not sure how much time I've lost with the menus and everything, but yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood, we're up to a 95. Is there going to be a huge difference between 95 99? Probably not massively. I think now it's more about getting club fittings, getting those maxed out, and then we'll kind of have our player where we want them. And then we'll have to look at, is this the best archetype to be using? Should I be trying another one, right? So yeah, that's kind of where we are. Something that's happened in the meantime, and Respawn was the one that I saw talk about it. So if you're not checking out Respawn TV on Twitch, and I think it's Respawn, maybe it's just Respawn on YouTube. I don't remember for sure. If you search Respawn on YouTube, you'll find him. He's streaming both this and MLB The Show pretty much daily. Not like every single day, but most evenings. He streams them both on Twitch and on YouTube, and he makes content as well. He's a great guy, great content creator. So check him out. anyways, I was watching one of his streams and he mentioned, and this was kind of right after the blow up about the VC, they have done an awful job with this menu. So I'm trying to think of one of these that I've completed that I actually got VC for, but it doesn't say it in the actual menu. Maybe they've changed it since. Yeah, they might have changed it since, actually. Okay, well, I take it back. It used to not say for a lot of these milestones. So it turns out there was more VC available than what they were saying. Or what was showing up on screen. So there'd be times where I'd be playing and I would, maybe I'd play my like 100th hole or something in the game or whatever. And all of a sudden there'd be VC show up. Like, where'd that come from? It looks like in some of the updates they might have fixed that. I might have to look into it a bit more, but there may be more VC in here than what you see. So it maybe doesn't take quite as long. It's still crummy, but it's maybe a little better. And again, 30-ish hours in, 95, not too bad, I guess. Now, to be clear, I do not like what they did. I think the optics of it were terrible. I think it was incredibly tone deaf of them. And I'm still against them for it. And it's part of the reason why I haven't made my decision about what I'm going to do going forward. Okay. But because of playing career mode, playing it on perfect swing, a lot of these milestones I've been able to get. Like, here's one I think I got. Well, maybe it's. There's so many. Yeah, it's hidden over there. Okay. So I've been able to get some of these milestones done just because I'm playing on a super easy difficulty. So I need to start hitting some bombs, hitting all these fairways, making an egregious amount of putts. I need to make 3 more putts outside of 35 feet, making a crap ton of pars, making a bunch of birdies, making a bunch of eagles, albatrosses. That's funny. Just playing holes. I need to play another 27 holes and I will get something there. Making a crap ton of putts altogether is 1,000. So another 2,100 feet of putts will be 1,000. And then playing, I haven't played ranked tours hardly. I think I've played it once. So if I were to play more ranked tours, there's a bunch of VC in there too. Okay. So it's not as bad as we thought. But it's still crummy. And it's still awful the way they did it. So 30-ish hours in, I got a 95 character. I've played some society rounds. I can kind of play now. TGCTours is going to have their Q school relatively soon, I would imagine. In 2K21, I had a brief dalliance with the Platinum Tour, the highest tour, and then got put back to Elite where I belong, or belonged in that cycle at least. In 23, I wasn't quite as good, and I was in Kinetic, just the 3rd level of tour. In this game, I will be below that for sure. And part of it, let's be honest, it's age. I'm not in my 60s, contrary to that one comment you guys made. That harsh. I'm not that old yet. Almost 50. Not 60s though. Come on. But it is becoming a little bit more of a difficulty for me to play kind of more games like this that require precision. That's age. Farther Time is undefeated. So that's part of it. I'm gonna continue to get worse, which I accept. It's the same playing real life golf. But part of it too is I'm struggling a bit with the diagonal swing. I'm having a hard time figuring out how much diagonal I need to be. It'll come. I'll get there in time. And I'll end up where I end up. But yeah, I don't think I'll be on those top 3 tours this time. But I think I'll at least be able to play and at least have some kind of fun. So I think I'll do that. And so I think my grinding is more or less done. Probably. I think now I need to just start playing and doing the things I like playing. So what am I going to do going forward? And that I don't know. So here's the thing. My streams and my YouTube channel tend to be mostly course playthroughs of user created courses. And I got away from it in 23 because I just didn't stream the game very much because I didn't enjoy the game. I found it a real letdown after 21. So I had a really hard time loading the game up and actually playing it. This game I'm having a bit more fun with than I was 23. So I think I would be more likely to play more courses. But I'm stuck. And here's where I'm stuck with. In the last video I said I am not going to make any content for this game, streaming or videos, until they change the VC structure. They're not going to change the VC structure. It's very obvious they're not going to change the VC structure. I've heard from some people who know more than I that this is what we're getting. It seems like there is more available in the quest than we thought. I don't know if they've maybe snuck a little bit in there on top of that too. I don't know. But from what I understand, the way the game is right now is what they wanted it to be. Okay, this is kind of the amount of time they wanted it to take to progress, which I'm fine with. I'm not fine with that the first week when people who paid more money to get the game were able to get a lot more. That's my problem. And I haven't seen 2K do anything to make up for that fact. And whatever that would be, I don't know. But it just was so fishy. But they're not going to change it. And so does that mean I don't stream this game at all when I basically only bought it to stream it? Well, I shouldn't say I only bought it, but a large chunk of the reason I bought it was to stream it. I don't know. But then if I do stream it and if I do put videos on here, am I going against my word? Is a month of me taking this stand enough? And understand something. I am under no illusions whatsoever that my not streaming or making content for this game is going to do anything to 2K. That was a comment I got a few times too, that they don't care. I know they don't care. That's not why I'm doing this. It's about being principled. It's about disagreeing with something a company is doing and choosing an action accordingly, right? I'm not gonna promote a game that I disagree with how it's done. That's my feeling, and I know it's not going to make any difference to their bottom line. I know that. I don't have anywhere near a big enough community to make any difference at all. I get it, but it's the principle of it, and it's having convictions in my beliefs, right? So, but it's not going to change. So do I sit out the entire game? Do we think 2K27, assuming there is a 2K27, is it going to be any different? No. It's pretty clear to me that sports games as a whole rely on microtransactions, and whether that is to make enough of a profit for them to be able to pat themselves on the back, whether that's enough to make enough of a profit for the shareholders to be happy, or whether it's to make enough money to make the game viable to continue making. I don't know. I don't know what the I don't know what the business of this is, right? I do know that they're going to have to pay a good amount of money to have Tiger's likeness and the other PGA Tour pros likenesses. They probably need to pay to be able to use some of the courses they use. There's going to be a lot of expenses around that they need to recoup somehow, right? And it's possible that the cost of the game by itself doesn't do it. So they need to find ways to get people to make microtransactions, and in this case, purchase VC. And I and this is something that started probably 15 years ago when Ultimate Team became a part of sports video games, of team video games, right? Or team sports video games, I mean. And they figured out, well, wait a minute. We can have you have to grind to get that player, or we can create a situation where you can buy in-game currency to be able to purchase them, right? And they're like, whoa. I know, like MLB The Show is one that I've played. I'm not playing it this year, but I've played it in the past. And every year on launch night, there's guys that spend $2,000-$3,000 to be able to get every card in the game. That's a bit more than the 70 that you bought the game for, right? And And again, a game like that, they have to pay the Players Association, but all the legends they've got to negotiate with each of those players or their estates if they're deceased in order to be able to use their likenesses. So that costs money as well. So they got to figure out, how do we make enough money? And eventually they're going to have a number that we need to make this much profit to make it worth our while, right? So, long-winded way of saying this isn't going to change. This is what this game is going to be going forward. There's going to be a bit of a pay to win, at least early, kind of deal with it. And the question I have to ask is, am I okay with that? Am I okay with starting at a disadvantage because I refuse to buy VC and I refuse to buy it early? That's just my choice. Tell me to get a better job or whatever. I don't care. It's my choice. I'm not paying more than what the game costs. That's what I'm doing. So I have to decide if I'm okay with that. And then the other thing to keep in mind is a couple months from now, a few months from now, we're all going to have 99s. It's going to be, and then where I'll be at the part of the game that I enjoy, where we don't have to worry about our players being maxed out or equipment being maxed out, any of that stuff. And then we can just play the game that we want to play it. I can play TGCTours. I can play people's courses. I can make content on it and all that jazz. So I'm gonna invite you guys to comment. If I were to start streaming this game, if I were to start creating content on here, would you think I'm going back on my word? Would you think less of me as a result of it? Would you support it? Have your say down there. I'm not saying that what you say is what I'll do, but I'm curious, and I definitely would take it into account on what my decision is going forward. But yeah, that's where we are. And I don't know what I'm doing going forward. I don't know if and when I might stream this game. I see Mount started streaming it again, and he's basically was of the opinion he's done everything he can. And this is the game, and so he wants to do what he enjoys doing, and I fully support that. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to enjoy doing it and if that's what I want to do. So comment down below if you could like and subscribe and do all the things the algorithm loves so much. I'd appreciate it. I would be thrilled to get to a point where this channel can be monetized and I can, get a couple dollars here and there for doing this stuff. It's certainly not something that you need to do. I don't do this for the money, clearly, because we're 4 years in with no monetization, but it'd be cool is all I'm saying. But appreciate all your support in the last video and everything everywhere else. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time after I decide what I'm gonna do.